Hi gorgeous, this is episode 1. Our amazing guest today is Lee Dumas, the host of Entrepreneurs on Fire.
Hey, this is JLD of Entrepreneurs on Fire, and you are listening to Heart Sells with Schlonski. Enjoy.
Wow, I am so excited to have Mr. Fire Nation here today. Lee Dumas, the host of Entrepreneurs on Fire, an award-winning podcast where he interviews inspiring entrepreneurs every Monday and drops value bombs every Thursday. With over 2,000 episodes and 1.3 million listeners each and every month, he has a 7-figure business. GLD is just getting started, so let's see what kind of value bombs he's gonna drop today with us. And I'm sure we will have a lot of fun and get really, really great insights. And I don't know about you, but I am all fired up. So let's get started. Thank you so much, GLD, for being here today. I'm super excited and welcome to Heart Sells.
Well, I am fired up to be here, Christine. It was cool hanging out with you in Berlin. And now we get to hang out on this great video call.
It's so much fun. So, the listeners might know your amazing and inspirational podcast, Entrepreneurs on Fire. So guys, if you have not yet heard of Entrepreneurs on Fire, you need to check that out. Go to eofire.com and have a look. It's amazing. And we know that you are a master in podcasting, but there's more. So can you share something we don't know about your area of expertise yet?
Well, I would say that, besides podcasting, which I've been blessed to be doing now for over 6 years and published over 2,000 episodes to date, I've learned a lot. And I've learned that, yes, like a podcast is something you can build a business off of. But if you want a real successful business, you need to have a sales funnel in place. And so for me, I could create 10,000 podcast episodes, but if I don't really have a goal or a focus or a call to action for my listeners, then I'm not going to be able to generate the kind of revenue that I would need as a podcast host and just as a human being to continue to be able to produce this free content for everybody. So I became a master over the years in creating sales funnels. I like to call them funnels on fire to stay on brand a little bit. But I just think it's really important for people to realize that when you have great value to share in your podcast, you're going to have a certain percentage of your listeners who need more, who want more, who have big problems that they want you to solve on a more intimate level. And so that's where a great funnel can come in, where you can create a great free product or a service or a community that you're able to lead people into from your podcast. And then from that point, you can continue to bring them up that sales funnel into a place where they're getting a premium product or service to really make sure that you are running a successful business, which, as we know, provides a lot of value and generates revenue. Those are two things that are key.
Yeah, so important. And I know you have a lot of amazing content on your site. So again, guys, if you have not checked it out, go to eofire.com and really have a look. I loved that funnel course. So as an entrepreneur, making offers and selling this confidence is really, really key. And it might not have been always this way that you were really confident in selling. Do you remember when you started out? Have you always been really, really confident? Or have you had some little challenges with getting your sales game up?
I was definitely not confident. I had major challenges and struggles getting my sales game up because, this is not something that comes incredibly naturally to most people. I would say 99% of people have to work at this, have to, challenge themselves, have to learn from others. And that was one of the biggest benefits of being a podcaster is that guess what? I became a podcaster because I really knew that I needed to learn from others, learn from successful businessmen and women, learn from successful entrepreneurs in general. And a great way to do that is to listen to podcasts or is to host a podcast where I can actually reach out and have the type of conversations and ask the type of questions that I have in business and in life in general. And so I was able to learn from, guests 1 through 1,000 as I was beginning my journey on what worked in business, what didn't work in business. And the common theme that just kept coming up over and over again was, listen, if you want to be a success in business and in life, you've got to learn how to sell. And that's kind of why I love your brand, because you do need to learn how to sell, but you need to learn how to sell from your heart, because people are really going to understand, like, is this genuine? Is this authentic? Like, is this person really coming from a place where my best interests are at heart? And if A, you are, which you should be, and B, you can really show that through your selling process, you're going to win at a much higher level. So all this is very important to be realizing, is that every entrepreneur is a salesman or a saleswoman. Every human being is a salesman or a saleswoman. Like, if you're a stay-at-home dad, and you have a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old, like, you're having to sell him or her to go to bed at night. Like, you're having to sell them. Like, everything we do on some base level is in sales, and on something you can be broken down into that. So it's an incredibly important process that we all need to learn from those who have come before. So I've learned from people who have come before me, and this is why, like I said, your podcast and your business is so important as well, because people are able to learn this process from you as well.
Yeah, thank you so much. So do you remember the first thing you ever sold in your life?
The very first thing that I ever sold. So I definitely remember when I was in 6th grade, baseball cards were a very big deal for me and my school and my age group. So I can remember I bought like this big pack of baseball cards, and then I was going through the cards afterwards, and I realized that I got one like really cool, really special, unique, rare baseball card. And I like looked it up, and it's called the Beckett, which shows you like what the value of it is, and it was worth like like $25, where I bought the whole pack for 25 cents. So I was like, oh my god! So I like went to the nearest baseball store, and I was able to like sell it to the guy that owned the place, for like $15, because it was worth 25, so he needed to have a markup, of course. But I can remember coming home with like $15 in my pocket and being like, man, that felt good. I want to do that over and over and over again. Now, of course, I probably spent like $50 the next couple of months buying baseball cards that never turned out, to give me that special card again. But it was like a cool first experience that got me like excited for the process.
Yeah, awesome. So how did it make you feel when you went to that guy and you asked for the money?
I was nervous because I knew that he was like super experienced and he was running a business. He had a store, and I kind of thought that I was going to get taken advantage of. And I just didn't really know how I was going to even broach the subject that I had this baseball card and what I was going to do. And so it was just like a very nerve-wracking experience and build up to actually having that conversation.
Awesome. But then afterwards, probably very exciting and rewarding going home with $15 in your pocket.
I loved it. It was great.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, that's a feeling, you can have if you sell like natural and if you believe in the products and services, right?
Yeah. And believe me, I was able to feel good about it because I knew that he was getting, the great card for a great value. And that's one thing that I've always strived for since then is, like, when somebody buys one of my products or services or signs up for one of my communities, I want them to, really be able to look to their significant other and be like, this was of value. Like, I feel like I got my money's worth and then some.
Yeah. And you provide so much value already. I know you have so many free stuff on your website for people to check out at eofire.com. And really, like, I've taken several courses and I signed up with you as well because I love the value you already provide in your free stuff. So for people then moving on and making an investment, it just totally makes sense and it feels natural in the process. So how you actually deal with rejection if somebody says no to your offer? How do you handle that?
So it's easier said than done, but I'm a big believer is that when somebody rejects you, you need to embrace that rejection because in the big scheme of things, it's a good thing for a number of reasons. When you get rejected, number one, you can learn from that rejection. You can see why did that person reject you? What could you have improved? What can you do next time? So that's a blessing right there. Number two, you're always going to get rejected, a large majority percentage of the time. That's just a reality, and going back to a baseball analogy is, a all-star gets out 7 out of 10 times. They're striking out, they're getting out. So only 3 out of 10 times is that baseball player succeeding and winning. And they're an all-star. They're the best of the best. So just, you need to think about that. You need to think about the reality that, a majority of the time you're going to get rejected. So just look at that as another step closer to winning, because you need to get a certain number of rejections every single time before you get that success, before you get that win. So I remember when I used to have to make phone calls in corporate finance, is that we had to make 100 calls a day. I knew without a doubt that 90 to 95 of those were going to be rejections. But if I made 100 calls, I'd get 5 to 10 wins and successes. But if I only made 50 calls, I'd only get 2 or 3. It was just period as a numbers game, and you have to look at it that way. So you need to just get back up off the mat, learn from it, and drive forward.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that you have to be successful by keep doing what others are giving up on. And if you believe in your own services and products and you want to give that to the world, you just have to keep going. It's pretty simple. So can you share with us your favorite mantra or inspirational quote that keeps you, well, maybe balance is not the right word, but that keeps you going and excited?
Yeah, what keeps me going is a quote by Albert Einstein. He's somebody that I've always looked up to and admired. I love his biography, by the way. It's really inspiring. It's a great audiobook, too, so you can check that Albert Einstein's audiobook out. But one of his quotes that just really jumped out at me and really got to me at the right time in my life was, try not to be a person of success, but become a person of value. And that mantra is so important to me because so many people like myself, for the first 32 years of my life, I was trying to just become successful. I was chasing success and it was very elusive. But then when I flipped it on its head when I was 32, which is 6 years ago, and I started providing value, a free podcast, free courses, free information, and I was just being a person of value, then success found me. So that's a huge key, I think, for people is you have to be a person of value. And if you focus on that first and foremost, and you keep that mantra near and dear to your heart, you're going to win.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. So again, let us know where people can find you.
Yeah, so all the magic for us, like you mentioned, happens at eofire.com. Our podcast is Entrepreneurs on Fire. I'd love for you to check it out. And yeah, we just have a lot of free courses and gifts for entrepreneurs. That's what we do.
Wow, thank you so much, GLD. What an amazing interview. Don't you think so, gorgeous? GLD dropped value bombs to the left, to the right. And what I really loved to hear is that he too thinks that when you sell from your heart, you play at a much higher level and you really win that business game. So what an amazing interview and what an amazing advice. If you want to know more, check out christineschlonski.com/podcast. I have put all the resources into the show notes so you have easy access. And also I'm inviting you to join the Success Library. The Success Library is my free membership where you find a lot of value. But today I want to point out the sales journaling prompts. These are really the prompts that I used to become stronger in sales, to have a better mindset, to be more confident, to go about it with ease and grace, and to turn sales conversations into fun conversations. I have put them into a simple PDF that you can download right away as soon as you join the library. And yeah, have fun with it. Put it into action, use them, and also let me know what you think of them. I hope you have subscribed and you send your friends and business partners to subscribe as well. Thank you so much for tuning in, and tune in for the next episode. Bye for now.